Welcome back to the King of the League. My name is Cromar with TGN, and this is a Summoner's Rift game for Division 5. The teams are Bronze League for Life, that's the blue team, and over on the red side, we've got Kamehameha Blast, or KHHB, as they will be known from now on forever and ever. And this is, as you probably guessed by the names, a couple of bronze teams, a couple of unranked players, and so on. Because King of the League is inclusive to all skill levels, including people who are almost as bad as I am, and that is saying something. So this team is made up of a Zed named Zedliest ZNA. I just wanted to point him out because I love the name. But a Katarina player playing Caitlyn. I mean, what's up with that? Come on, guys. Come on, guys, get it together. Seriously. Maybe they banned Katarina. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Anyway, it looks like we have an early invade. They're going to take this red on the red team. They're going to take Kamehameha Blast red right away. But you might notice, and I thought this was kind of interesting, is that they have no smites. They have no smites whatsoever. So I've tried my best to align these portraits. In a previous video, did not align the portraits, and I apologize for that. But I've aligned these portraits as best as I can because I've had to guess which is the jungler. And I think I guessed right because it looks like the Hunter's Machete is on Nautilus. My thinking is that they know that Nautilus doesn't really need the smite, to be honest, to jungle. And they have smite control via Feast with cho'gath when it comes to Baron and Dragon. So it's kind of a ballsy play. It gives them an extra ignite on their team. I kind of like that. I've always wondered about smiteless plays. Or maybe, even if not smiteless, then maybe trading off so the jungler doesn't take smite and someone else does. But check out, speaking of unorthodox plays, we actually have our Blitzcrank and Caitlyn players here, or Katarina. It's going to be really difficult for me to say the summoner name here, because I'm going to say Katarina and be really confused. But they're actually going top. They've done a lane swap, and they're up against the Xin Zhao, who should not be in a lane by himself, especially against Caitlyn. That's nasty. And he can't even go all in on her because he's got a Blitzcrank there for Peel. So I don't know what he's going to do there. But we have another counter invade coming from Lee Sin. He's pretty angry about his red. And if he catches this Nautilus, it could be bad times for him. But he is spotted, so Nautilus is going to head for the hills. Not going to go for those wolves. I thought Lee Sin was going to take him, actually, but I guess not. He may actually go for a gank on Zed. He could catch him here in just the right position. Let's see if he does. And no, Shadow Juke. Good job. Good job, Zed. So let's hop on down to bot lane. See how cho'gath's doing in a 2v1. Even with the level advantage, he's going to have a really tough time here. Granted, he's fairly tanky. Even at early levels, he's fairly tanky. So I don't think that a single binding from Lux is going to be an instant death sentence as it is sometimes in lane. I think he'll be okay there. But the harass from those two will get him low. And if they do catch him at maybe, a third of his HP or so, then maybe they could go ahead and execute him. I'm not sure. But I like Zed versus Annie. That's a good pick. I Disaster XX here. Funny name. So I do like the names of these guys. Your Epic Boss. But nothing beats Zedliest ZNA. I mean, come on. Zedliest Zed? At least he picked Zed. He didn't pick, like, a Kali or something. That would really throw me off. Along with Katarina. So, early builds. Fairly standard. I mean, Zed went for a health regeneration for his laning against Annie, which is good. Annie's known for harass with auto attacks, so it's good to have that extra sustain. Even if it is just a small amount. Xin Zhao actually going for the same build, which is a little different because Xin Zhao is a little bit more self-sustaining. And, good in the stun combo, QW, as well as an auto attack on Zed. I Disaster getting an advantage in the trading. There's another Q. Pretty early on. Keep in mind that Annie, while she has unlimited mana for creep scoring, for killing, for last hitting, she does not have unlimited mana for trading. So Lee Sin's going to initiate on Katarina, but the peel from the Power Fist is going to be a little too much for him to handle. He's going to flash pull. Double OZ, aka Xin Zhao over here, is going to be flash pulled into the tower. That's how you play Blitzcrank right there. If only he'd been a little bit closer, could have got a little bit more done. But the Iron Will from Lee Sin did protect Xin Zhao from taking too much damage. I think he only took one tower hit, in fact, which is kind of unfortunate. We actually have this Nautilus thing bottom lane while Lux is backing, and no, he's just staying bottom because he's pairing up with cho'gath. I got confused for a second because of this lane swap. Sorry about that, guys. But lane swaps are always interesting. There's a pull out of the tower. He's going to follow up with the Power Fist after the exhaust. He doesn't even need to. Oh, he's out of mana. That's why. Yeah, Blitzcrank was completely tapped on, man. He couldn't even fist. So anyway, I did miss a kill down bottom. Directed camera wanted me desperately to see it, but I skipped it because I wanted to look at his mana. So let's go back, and not quite that far back, but we're going to go here to this grab. There is actually a Rupture combination along with the Titan's Wrath. Oh god, he's gonna dive. That was not a good dive. Sorry, Evil Deeps. Got a little greedy there going for that kill on Tristana, but it's too early for you. Even though you are Nautilus, and even though your Titan's Wrath was up, it is just too much damage. A little too bit early. A little bit too early. So let's see how Zed's faring against Annie. They're even. I was talking about mana before. Annie is actually kind of a mana hog when it comes to trading, because your Q and her W are very expensive compared to the amount of damage they put out. So that's kind of unfortunate. But because the Q refunds full mana when you get a last hit, it's for farming. It's amazing. It basically gives you infinite sustained farming. I mean, shouldn't say infinite. You know what I mean? Because you can always miss a couple. Or you can use your W to clear, and that really drains your mana. I was kind of surprised by that teleport from Xin Zhao coming up to the lane. Lee Sin's just going to leave. I thought they were going to try to counter this because considering Katarina's and Cloud's Might's low health. Yeah, I can't say Katarina. I've just got to say Caitlyn. Every time I do it, my brain breaks. Sorry, guys. We'll call you Katarina in a future video when you're actually playing Katarina. How about that? Yeah, Double OZ is in trouble though. He's sitting at 12 CS compared to Caitlyn's 41. 41 to 12. At 7 minutes. That's not good. So Double OZ is definitely in serious trouble. Matter of fact, she can just sit here and take this tower out right now. That's what I would do. Just ignore him. Get the tower, then you can 2v1 him. A couple more hits. Blitzcrank's gonna punch it. And there he goes. Power Fist is still up. He didn't use it, but he did use Overload. We've also got a completely unnecessary gank from Evil Deeps on this poor Xin Zhao, landing the Dredge line, aka Anchor Toss, that's what I call it. And comboing a little bit more damage, but I don't think Caitlyn was interested. She's busy pushing up, and she's like, dude, just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. Help poor cho'gath. He's the one that needs the help. Comparatively, I think cho'gath is doing much better. He has managed to pull off, Gravon here has managed to pull off 31 CS against this combination. So why do a lane swap? Why would you ever do a lane swap? It's a strange strategy. Basically what you do is you sacrifice one of your solo laner in order to help your duo laner get massive amount of farm. The situations you might do that, I don't know, there's a few situations. Maybe if you're just not confident about your lane matchup with your bot laners, that might be one reason. But anyway, I'm rambling on while we're watching a bunch of action mid lane. Annie just narrowly escaping, using her Tibber stun to take out Zed, but Zed managed to evade the kill. Annie nearly died to the Ignite tick, but not quite. And unfortunately for Evil Deeps, he is caught between a rock and a hard place, as he cannot Dredge line over the wall. Unlike Amumu, unlike other players, what's another good example? Thresh, unlike Leona, unlike anybody with an attack like that. No, Dredge line cannot go over the wall, it would stick into the wall. So Annie was in the perfect position. That would be Disaster XX was in the perfect position there to get that kill. And now we have everybody convalescing on bot lane. Caitlyn still in the lead at 57 CS ahead of Tristana. So both the Caitlyn and the cho'gath player Gravon are ahead in their lane. So that's a pretty huge gold advantage, and that's why even though the red team Kamehameha Blast has one extra kill, they're 1k behind, it's because of the farm difference. And check out this move by Cloud's Might. Interested to see if he's going to begin this grab. Oh, after the Rupture, he'll definitely land the grab. But he pulls out of the Piltover Peacemaker. That's, well, that wasn't that. I didn't think that one through. I don't blame him, though. If I was playing Blitzcrank there, I would take the grab just for the satisfaction of taking the grab. It's just kind of its own reward, you know? And Disaster XX is like, no, I don't think I want to mess with that right now. I think I'm going to let Cloud's Might leave in peace. They have an opportunity to push another tower. That'll be 2 towers already. 4 Bronze League for life, and they need a promotion. And your epic boss biting off a little bit more than he can chew. Caitlyn has gone back to buy once. She picked up Berserker's Greaves and a Vamp Scepter already. Which ain't bad. She's got serious sustain, a little bit of health, and attack speed. Not to mention the level 2 boots for the movement speed. But I think this Tristana is just going to walk away. Didn't even need to use Rocket Jump. What's Xin Zhao up to? Man, he's really getting aggressive with this tower. I think he's perhaps underestimating the kind of damage that Xin Zhao can do. And now, Nautilus is taking a lot of minion damage. So Zedlius ZNA, my favorite name, back in the mid. Still ahead of Annie. Now, by quite a bit more. Disaster did roam bottom. And although roaming is what you want to do in an AP mid, it cost her because she didn't get any kills. And Cloud's Might getting a little bit too friendly with this Tristana and this Lee Sin. I think they both should have run for it when they had the chance, because Cloud's Might's definitely going to go down to this Tristana now. There's almost no imaginable way he's going to survive it. And then the Caitlyn and your epic boss fight is a little bit more... Oh, there it is. Landed the Sonic Wave. That's all he needed to do was juke that sucker and he would have lived, but no. Well, even then, actually, it's arguable. He may have ward jumped up. There's a number of ways that your epic boss could have made that happen. Although it wouldn't be a ward jump because he didn't have any wards. So another death. Just getting a little bit cocky on Bronze League for life. Now down 2 kills, still up a K gold. Pretty impressive. And counter warding from Gravon, very smart. So far I'm liking Bronze League. They've made some mistakes. They did make a mistake overextending there. They made a mistake fighting back. I mean, maybe the Blitzcrank should have, you know, he did it right, but the Caitlyn should have run away faster. I'm not sure. It's hard to second guess that, but I feel like they've just made some mistakes overextending, getting too confident. They do have that one still, you know, 1.2k lead in the gold, so they deserve to be a little bit confident. And of course, the fact that their cho'gath is actually doing quite well is, well, you know, it's a bit of a surprise. But you know, as I say that, I've noticed that OOZ's Shinzao is actually catching up, and part of the reason for that is the tower being down, giving him the ability to farm in relative safety while his lane opponents have swapped bottom for roaming. That's one of the problems with taking the tower early, you know. So. Anyway, there's the kill I just missed. It looks like we have some counter jungling action from our blue team. Bronze League for life. Lee Sin going for wolves. Boy, Lee Sin is just getting... Oh man, that's revenge time for Caitlyn. The combination of depth charge and ace in the hole hitting him at the same time over the wall. That's too bad. And Lux is forced to flash away. Saraki barely escaping with her life. And Zed's damage is extremely, extremely powerful right now. Zed is a very dangerous character. He's picked up his Bilgewater Cutlass, and he is level 9. And when he's level 11, forget about it. Just run away. That's something you want to mess with. First Dragon going to Bronze League for life. A double Lux Binding is going to hit Blitzcrank and Nautilus, and then Saraki's going to finish off. No! Oh, there it is. Almost didn't finish off the Blitzcrank, and Tristana cleaning up, murdering everyone. Caitlyn did come in to snipe Lux, who was low from the previous encounter, but it's still a 1 for 3. So obviously, once again, Kamehameha Blast, very happy about that outcome. And they're going to just push in on this Caitlyn, see if they can catch her. I'm not sure. Tibbers is already wasted. Wasted isn't the right word for it. He was using the team fight. And no, Katarina is going to escape. Meanwhile, up top, we had a counter jungle. A counter gank coming from Lee Sin to take out the cho'gath. And Katarina's still in this fight. See if she's going to do it. No, she's not crazy enough to do that. I don't know if Nutcase saw the Piltover Peacemaker or not, but he definitely is figuring, I'm not gonna take that bait. I don't know who's coming up, and they would be right because Deadliest Zed was on his way. So let's see how the balance of power is shifted. It's still a 1k gold lead despite the 4 kills. The reason for that is the dragon and the tower advantage, and it was the farm advantage, but not anymore. In fact, wow, Nutcase has actually caught up and surpassed the Caitlyn player here on farm by about 10. That's an interesting development. Zed is still ahead. So overall, the farm gap is it's pretty much closed. I mean, there's little tiny differences here and there, but I would say the farm gap is just about even. And we actually have an initiation between Depth Charge and the full combo from Zed. And Annie is just barely going to escape because unfortunately Deadliest Zed was taking those tower hits instead of Evil Deeps. He does not. That's not the desired outcome. They could have dove that much harder had that happened. But Deadliest Zed's forced to retreat. Evil Deeps now with the bot lane support coming up to take control of the lane. He's going to go back as well. So I'm curious to see how these team fights are going to go when they get into mid and late game, when they get into a full team fight mode, because they do have a Nautilus who is amazing for peels, and he's amazing for diving and carry too, but I really like him for peels because the depth charge, you cast it on someone in the back, and it nails all their bruisers and assassins on their way in. So it nails the Lee Sin and the Shinzao on their way in and helps stop them, and then you have an AoE slow, then you have an immobilize on the choice target as well as the anchor to pull them away, the dredge line. And there actually looks like they're catching Tristana in the jungle. This is a counter jungle, from Blitzcrank and Caitlyn. catching there by the blue. That's pretty unfortunate. And they're going to see if they can get something done out of this. Annie, hoping to land a full combo on them, but no. The crowd control. All she can cast is a single Tibbers. The combination of Dredge Line, Power Fist is too much. It's too much. And your epic boss is forced to flee. So, at this point, Bronze League for Life showing some definite dominance despite being down a couple kills. I don't think they care about that. Because those couple kills were just a couple little errors. They weren't like instances where they lost fights. It was just a couple screw-ups. And that's alright, because you can recover from a couple screw-ups. It's when you drastically lose a team fight when everything else is supposed to go your way. That's when you have to worry. This time Evil Deeps is taking the tower hits, but Zedliest Zed does not want to pursue this because their whole team is here. Speaking of screw-ups, that's okay though. It happens. And Zedliest Zed is also screwed. And that is 2 more kills. Still 2k gold behind for Kamehameha Blast. That's the importance, man. And Gravon's going to try to push this tower. Your epic boss is in no position to defend it. However, Double OZ is coming up. Gravon's going to have to be careful. He is by himself. There is nobody here to help him. If another enemy player were to appear, he'd be completely screwed. But I don't think iDisaster is too worried about top lane now. I think he's aware everything's fine. Another thing that can end this game is a pull from Blitzcrank at the wrong time. That's a game ender right there. Pull Annie in the group, she dies. Pull Tristana in the group, she dies. I mean, they had the crowd control to prevent anybody from getting away before the burst. And look at the burst you have. You have freaking Zed, for God's sakes. So I'm kind of giving the team fight advantage to Bronze League. I will say that Kamehameha Blast has something helpful in the Annie and Lux combo. Keeping in mind, of course, that Lux's support, so her ultimate is going to be very weak by comparison, but you still have a Tibber stun. And you can still hold, 5 of them in a laser blast combined with Lucid Singularity. That's going to be a missed grab. Unnecessary rocket jump, but he kind of panicked. I don't blame him. I would have too. I think the Lee Sin is going to be focusing on diving the enemy carry, the enemy Caitlyn, and there's just no way he's going to get it with the amount of peel they have. And that's too bad. You missed out a kill up top, so I'm going to jump back 15 seconds. The backspace key. And it's pretty simple. Your epic boss and Double OZ staying in. Still by himself up top, as we discussed. And they were able to kill him pretty effortlessly, actually. I'm interested to see what happens with this. Looks like Deeps was getting pushed up a little bit too aggressively. He's going to get caught by that laser blast from Lux, but it doesn't do hardly any damage. He is support build. And he is going to have to run for his life, but he's going to run right into Double OZ. That's not good. Charges audaciously, and the combo from Tristana is going to be too much. Just auto attacks, explosive shot, and didn't even need to use Buster Shot. Actually, he wasn't even up. But if she had it, it would have been excessive. Push him into that wall, I guess. Not too bad for Evil Deeps, caught in a bad position. Let's see if Zedliest Zed can kill Lee Sin before Double OZ fends him off. Even with Gravon here, no. Epic Boss is going to escape. Just by the skin of his teeth, actually. One rupture would have done it. In fact, if Zed had committed that kill, I'm pretty confident he could have killed him. However, Zed's ultimate is not up. It was not up for that fight. That may have made a huge difference. So Annie dodging a hook. Nice work. Very close call. And taking a pilt over in the face. That is a lot of damage. This Caitlyn, aka Katarina, is 5-1. With 137 farm. Top farm in the map, top kills in the map, 1 death, no assists. That's that's an 80 carry score right there. And they're going to push up this mid tower, taking the first tower. The second tower could fall soon if there is not a serious response from Kamehameha Blast. Your epic boss is going to go dive this team, and the peel is much too strong with this one. Zedliest Zed escaping with barely any health. Katarina is going to stay kind of face tanking their team. And there's no amount of peel can save you when your carry just stands there, and that's going to go extremely well for Kamehameha Blast as Annie is still alive and basically able to just cycle cooldowns on their team. Zedliest Zed staying in, but he is going to kill Annie briefly before he dies. Keep in mind that Nutcase was not even present for that fight, came in at the very end to clean up a couple kills, and despite that, Kamehameha Blast definitely came out ahead, and the reason is that the Caitlyn player unfortunately face tanked their team. That was a positioning mistake, major positioning mistake, which cost them that fight badly. The peel was there. I mean, I saw plenty of peel. The Lee Sin was completely helpless. He was unable to get anywhere near Caitlyn. The problem was that she just stood there as the fight shifted around her. So that was a big mistake, and that is going to put Kamehameha Blast now in the lead, not just in terms of kills like they have been all game, but also in terms of gold. And in fact, in terms of experience, I mean, let's see where they're at. They're actually ahead of them too. I mean, Blitzcrank's only level 9. He's going to be easy to pick off. Evil Deeps is here. He was also missing from that fight because he died earlier. Evil Deeps is here, and he's going to chase them off. So they can't get to him. I think I'm wrong about that. I think he was there for that fight. So that's going to prevent that dragon, though. They're definitely worried about Evil Deep stealing it. He is Nautilus. He's good at that. So there's a hook combo on Disaster X, and she's done. And Lee Sin kind of trolling around here, hoping to make something happen. He does have the smite control. Actually, I just remembered, Nautilus doesn't have smite, so they may have been afraid of Nautilus, and they didn't need to be. I keep forgetting that. It's just really unusual to have a no smite jungler. And they're going to get a nice free dragon. That's going to be 2 dragons in a row for El Blue Team, a.k.a. Bronze League for life. 2-0 dragons. That puts them back in the lead on gold. So plenty of back and forth here. I appreciate that. So far, this game's actually been pretty exciting. We did see some mistakes, some positional mistakes from the carries. No individual plays that were, truly mind-boggling, but I do enjoy the hyper-aggressive action and the counter-jungling and the crazy team fights. Those are fun. Gravon and Evil Deep's trying to catch 00Z. Unfortunately, he anticipated a juke back, and that didn't happen. But he is going to land the dredge line, coming from Evil Deeps. Your epic boss, however, is here to reinforce. Can they kill these 2 tanks? It's pretty much 2 bruisers versus 2 tanks. I think that the tanks realize they need to retreat while they can. After all, Disaster XX is coming up, and he will incinerate their team. Let's see, Zed goes full combo on your epic boss. Not a whole lot of damage. The mark explodes. Here comes Annie with a Tibbers on all 3 people, and they're done. That's going to be 2 kills minimum. Let's see if Nautilus can escape as well. And Lee Sin will probably catch him. Meanwhile, down bottom, there was another kill that I unfortunately missed, and they're going to actually catch Blitzcrank as well. That's going to be the double kill bot. Let's watch the full kill bot, and we'll skip top lane because I'm interested in that, and I didn't go back far enough. That's how much action there is. We're going to focus on the Blitzcrank and the Katarina, a.k.a. Caitlyn down here. That was a little bit of a replay error if you saw that Lux teleport there. And they're going to focus on Caitlyn. They actually do quite a bit of damage just from that combo. Blitzcrank finally reacting, and no, the full combo is just, it's just too much. Lux and Tristana just too much for Caitlyn, and Blitzcrank, there's nothing he can do to respond. He got his ult out a little bit late, actually. So back up top, back to Evil Deeps. Remember, he was trying to escape, and no. Not happening, guys. And Kamehameha Blast has simultaneously, on 2 different parts of the map, aced the 2 different team fights. They aced a 2v2 and a 3v3. How about that Tibbers combo from Annie? That is, as an Annie player, when you play Annie, that's the kind of thing you want. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes your whole day. You're like, the whole reason I'm playing this champion is so I can do that. I can do a full Tibbers stun combo on multiple people and done. Cycling cooldowns. Annie has very short cooldowns, her Q and her W, so she just, the longer she stays in a fight, I mean, she just keeps hurling damage onto people. It's great. It's not like a LeBlanc or someone where you have to go, I don't know, take wolves or something while you're waiting for your R to come back up. She actually contributes significant damage to the whole fight. And they're going to take blue. Actually, I don't know. Gravon might have something to say about that. Let's take a look at it. No, I'm afraid not. If only they had smite control. Darn. I don't think that Feast is working out for him so far. But we haven't seen a Baron fight. Feast is, 1,000 damage, same as Smite at level 18. 2 Baron. However, the difference is that there's a delay on Feast. It's a small delay. It's like a quarter second, but there's a delay there for spell animation. And also because it's a spell, it's subject to silence and whatnot. So it can be blocked, whereas Smite is not. Unlike Flash, Smite is available at all times. You can't. I think you can suppress it, but that's about it. And they don't have a suppression here, so it's a moot point. But you can't silence or stun the Smite. All you can do is knock Nautilus out of range with Dragon Rage. It's actually one viable option, in fact. Excited to see how this game turns out. I mean, it's been such back and forth. Kamehameha Blast back in the lead again. Is that quick? Zedlius Zed's going to catch Disaster, but he does not want a piece of that because he knows that 00Z is coming out for the reinforcement, so he's going to back off. Meanwhile, in the jungle, we have a close encounter with Nutcase just barely escaping. However, Caitlyn smells blood and is going to pilt over the wall. See if they do something out of that. Boy, they're itching for a team fight now. You can tell. You can tell from their body language. They want to fight so bad. Oh boy, Cloud's Might could land a grab here. If he knows that Lux and Annie are there, he could grab either one of them. Instead, it's going to be a dredge line and a missed hook. Oh, Blitzcrank, sorry. And this is a great position for Caitlyn to be in. Katarina is able to sit in the back and just fire away while iDisaster has been wasted in that fight. And that's going to be a collapse for Kamehameha Blast. They're going to have to rally around their middle inhibitor turret. I don't know about this outer turret. They may be able to defend this inner turret. That's questionable, though. I mean, with the amount of poke you have from Caitlyn and all these tanks, a dive is not out of the question. A dive could come very soon, or just a grab on Tristana, forcing a rocket jump immediately. They may take advantage of that by forcing this tower, since they know that Tristana does not have the rocket jump in time by the time they can destroy this tower. I think they got it. I think they got it. Are they going to force it or not? They got 9 seconds on Annie before she's up, and then she can't even home guard in time. That Lux ultimate doing almost nothing, and I accidentally screwed up. Annie's up in 9 seconds. We have a face-off at this middle tower. We have a double OZ jumping in with a Crescent Strike. The Lux ultimate doing very little. Deeps flashing out. They're going to focus Cloud's Might next. However, the carries are both running rampant. Unfortunately, Nutcase is too low due to the damage, and that's going to come ahead for, not a surprise, Bronze League for life. They're going to take this tower. They totally should have rallied around the inhibitor. That's what I told them. That's what I told them right there. Yeah, not a good position to be in. That grab. Oh, Annie, why? iDisaster, why? That grab to initiate the fight, that really did them in right there. And not having their crucial tibbers for that fight was a serious problem that they couldn't overcome. Ultimately, Nutcase couldn't carry it through, and Caitlyn was not pressured at all. There's way too much peel. I mean, we saw Double OZ try to initiate on them after getting engaged, and he tried to jump into the fight, but there's just so much peel on their team from Nautilus and Blitzcrank and you name it. Cho'gath as well. Cho'gath is amazing peel too. That there is just no way that Lee Sin could get to the get to this Caitlyn player and do any significant amount of damage. He did maybe a quarter of her health before he was peeled, and then you just saw her heal up off the golems in like 2 shots. So Caitlyn sporting a Bloodthirster Last Whisper combo versus Tristana, Eye Edge, Phantom Dancer. Interesting the way they're opposites there. Do like attack speed on Caitlyn, but she wants to stack up that pilt over Peacemaker damage as much as possible, so I understand. Thanks to that fight, Bronze League for Life is once again pulled into the lead. They also got the inhibitor turret, I should mention. And they got the extra gold from the turrets, where they have clear turret superiority by 2, in fact. And the 2 dragons and a farm advantage, a slight farm advantage thanks to Caitlyn's extra gold. And they actually got another grab on iDisaster as I was looking at farm. iDisaster getting caught one more time. That's 3 times in a row. Bad news. They lost the last team fight because of it. And then this one they're going to lose as well. Double OZ forced to retreat as much as he can. The Death Charge and Anchor Toss combination catching him. Yes, I know it's called Dredge Line. I don't care. There's a rupture on both players. Oh man, Epic Boss manages to avoid the ace in the hole. It's blocked by Nutcase, but that's the worst person you want to block ace in the hole. So, no. More deaths. More deaths. They should have probably just abandoned Double OZ to his fate. And just let him be a decoy. And they're going to take this tower. Things looking bad for Kamehameha Blast. Let me tell you. They may be ahead in kills. Don't mean anything. They're behind at every other metric. In fact, if we look at individual gold, you see Caitlyn is 2,000 ahead of Tristana. That's not good. That's not good, guys. Your AD carry needs farm. I'm giving this match right now. I think this match is definitely in Bronze League for Life's favor, but really it could go either way. I mean, it's still close enough. iDisaster in the right position, catching the people in the right position. I mean, a full combo on a full Tibbers combo on Caitlyn. That would be a disaster. That would be a disaster for Bronze League because they're so reliant on her for consistent damage. I mean, Zed can blow up one person, but after that, there's really nothing else. that he can do. And Eye Disaster, meanwhile, has much better sustained damage. And between Eye Disaster and Nutcase, they can really shred their team, especially if they're able to free fire. They're just able to fire freely on all these tanks, because they're not going to have any pressure on them once Caitlyn's down. They're just going to have to worry about that Zed, which is basically a distraction at that point. See if they can get this inhibitor. It's going to be 5-on-5 in the mid lane. Everybody is present for this fight. Nobody's interested in Baron. Not yet, anyway. Oh, they want to hook over the wall. They stay away from the wall, Eye Disaster. Stay away from the wall. Oh, no, they're backing off now. They're backing off. Okay. They're going to go for this tower instead. It's kind of a free tower. These guys would be nuts to try to contest it. I hope they do, though. Double OZ is going to clear mid lane. That means they're going to take this tower almost for guaranteed. Your Epic Boss initiating on the Caitlyn. Bad timing. Here comes Eye Disaster from the back. May catch the Caitlyn. Oh no, instead uses it on the Zed. She's going to lose this fight to Zed though. Zed is an assassin who counters Annie pretty handily. And that's going to be a major, major team fight for Bronze League for life as they completely clean up the depth charge. Oh god, poor Saraki there just getting knocked up. Rupture depth charge and then Blitzcrank hook into Power Fist. Just not a good time. There's two landed hooks in a row, by the way, and that's gonna do it right there. Eye Disaster getting caught by Zed, Zedliest Zed. She was trying something fancy, didn't work out, and unfortunately wasted it all on Zedliest Zed, and that's gonna be a victory for Bronze League, I believe. Are they gonna win on this push? They may not win on this push. They may just get the inhibitors and back off. Nutcase is still alive. I am not that confident about Nutcase's ability to defend against two people with hooks. Either one of them lands it, and she's done. And they don't even need to land a perfect hook. They just need to land a rupture, and then they can hook anything. That's not too bad. But no, they're gonna call that They're gonna call that a win and back off. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of thought they might end it there, to be honest. A little surprised. But it may be Baron time. Double OZ, unhappy about the last team fight, has split push up top lane, taking advantage of his teleport. Finally, one of the inner turrets down for Bronze League. Neither team going for Baron at this point. Bronze League has it warded. Speaking of wards, we haven't checked in wards at all this game. Bronze League having far superior vision. Kamehameha Blast is almost none. They have a little bit of defensive positioning around their jungle. That could be helpful if there's a fight there, but we'll see. Both teams clearing lanes, clearing minions, picking up blue. Evil Deeps. Hengus has got me calling Depth Charge Hydro Pump. I like the name better. Hydro Pump. Kind of makes sense. I mean, Depth Charge doesn't make any sense at all. Depth Charge is like a bomb that the ships drop underwater to hit submarines. None of those things happen with that ability, Depth Charge. Not a single one of them. It doesn't go underwater. It goes under the land. It doesn't even go down. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Here comes a Baron attempt. Let's see if Feast is enough to maintain control of Baron. We shall find out shortly. And there's a depth charge over the wall. Blitzcrank missing the hook on your Epic Boss. Is he going to go for a steal? He's going to go over the wall. He is going to get the steal and flash to safety. What a joke. What a joke. Oh, man. Bronze League is absolutely slapping themselves in the face right now for not taking Smite. What a blunder. What a blunder. I don't know if that's going to be a game decider because they do have two inhibitors down. They've got to at least wait out the inhibitors before they can counter push. But we'll see. It might be. I mean, it's possible. That could be a game deciding play right there. Your Epic Boss with an epic Smite steal. Outsmiting the boss, whereas, you know, Gravon simply wasn't able to feast. And that's how he got it. How's that Ignite treating you now, Nautilus? Oh. And also, if Blitzcrank had landed the hook, too, that would have made a big difference. If he had simply waited for the depth charge to land, then he would have been guaranteed to hit the hook. And they could have pulled him into the pit before Baron was low enough to smite, and they could have just killed him. Or even forced him to flash out, and then they could have taken the Baron in safety. I don't know. Either way, that was hilarious. I almost fell out of my chair. Anyway, your epic boss lands a Sonic Wave on Caitlyn and then thinks twice about that one. They're going for a hook over those walls. It's the best way to take care of this. Oh no, that was so close. Almost hit Eye Disaster. Eye Disaster went Deathfire Grip. Did not go Zanya's, at least not yet. And in fact, doesn't even have... That's interesting. Picked up the Spell Vamp. Oh, there's a hook on your epic boss. He can ward jump or straight over the wall, which he's going to do. Not a surprise. And wow. Caitlyn almost killed Lux over the wall. Saraki missing everything. And there's Eye Disaster flashing over a Lee Sin pull. He's like, thanks, I was coming over anyway. But it's not good news because Katarina is just going to run rampant on their team. Meanwhile, back in the base, we did have a kill on Zed, who dove like mad. Nutcase was able to finish him off. Saraki is healed up. And, oh, there's a pull Nutcase into the inhibitor. No, Nutcase. Oh, if there was ever a game-winning hook, that was it right there. Pulled him straight out of the towers. Oh, boy, that was painful. And I think it's going to be a GG, guys. So what happened there? A couple of blunders from both teams. Great Baron steal. It just wasn't enough to decide the game. Oh, they're not finishing this thing, are they? There they go, finally. A couple, great Baron steal. It was hilarious to watch. And... a couple great hooks, really decided it. Just a couple great hooks at the right time. And Eye Disaster making a couple of blunders, initiating at the wrong time, getting caught, losing team fights, and that's what did it. And in the end, Bronze League for Life still not in first place on kills, yet they're way ahead on gold. Isn't that funny how that works out? Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. This is a very entertaining game. Glad to cast this one to catch that Baron steal. Those are always really exciting. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next game on King of the League.